Thank you for that. Okay, so I was saying, I hope you can hear me now. I was saying that I didn't do a morning session because I just felt like the market was too slow for me to be going through price at that time. But New York session seems to be, even though we are in August, New York session tends to be volatile, right? So then it makes sense looking at price during this New York session. Now, if you look at the dollar index, right? We did make a new high, so all this I think is a pullback. They've closed in this void here and it rejected. So the reason why I'm looking at this candle is because I don't want to see that candle close below this. Okay, so I don't want to see that candle close below that. And we do have, you can hear me. Never mind, my voice is always like that. Hang on. I had my son come in here this morning. I think maybe he's tampered with my it should be fine. Nope. Hopefully. How about now? How about now? Is it okay now? Okay. So as I was saying, I want to see them not go below and close below this level. So this H4 candle is going to be important. In the next 20 minutes we have some news coming in, so I'm gonna see how that news is going to affect the market, right? But I'm anticipating a reversal. On the daily time frame, you will see that from Monday till today, everything is within Friday's candle, right? So all this, in my opinion, is kind of irrelevant. It's just sideways, right? So you can maybe anticipate that reversal. Okay. The opposite is true for Euro. So Euro, I'm looking at that level and we've just gone into it. So let's see if we're gonna get rejection off from this level. Yeah, let's see if we can get rejection off from that level when the news comes out. I would have preferred they stayed below this high, and then when the news comes out they send it up, takes out the high and then drop, but they decided to do it first. So it will be very interesting to see when the news comes out what it's going to do, but I would want to see a rejection and then a move lower. British pound, same thing. I'm looking for continuation to the downside. Pay attention to this high, which is the 8th Monday's high. If they do go above it, I will anticipate a rejection to go lower. Alright, so Monday's high is important. We don't want them to go above Monday's high. New Zealand, okay, they've gone through that gap on the 1 hour, but we're still yet to go through on the H4 basis. So that is also an important level that I'm watching. So I think the best thing to do is wait for the announcement at 1:30, and then after the announcement comes out, then maybe forecasting will be much easier. Because right now, because I'm anticipating reversal, it might not seem relevant me telling you what's going to happen, and then wait for it to actually happen, and then we look at what the targets are going to be. So if we do eventually get the reversal, right, on euro, I'll be looking for these lows here. On British pound, I'll be looking for the 1.2 level. Oops. On New Zealand, I'll be looking at this low here. It didn't go below it that much, so I will anticipate them coming back for that low properly. And then Aussie, I'll be looking at somewhere in here. Alright, so Aussie, it's a little bit different. I'm not looking lower. I'm looking here as partial, and then if we're able to take out this low, maybe it might reject and then drop down. So what I mean by is we might get something like this, right? Or it can do that and then just go up. So Aussie is quite different. Euro pound, you can see missed my TP by a few pips. I was anticipating them to hit this H4 all block here, but it has rejected. I got a buy on this candle. Let me zoom in. I got a buy on this candle here. I was looking for the buy between the 7 and the 9, and 7 did not give me a close above this high. 8 did not close. 9 took out stops. So as soon as the 9 o'clock candle closed, I went in long, and I was anticipating price to go here. My stop loss is now at break even here, so that's why I went in long, and my stop loss is now at break even. So I'm just gonna leave it so it gets up there. I don't like the candle that's being printed now. Maybe it might pull back into this imbalance. Right, it might pull back into this and then go back up again. That's fine. If they come all the way down, take out this low, I'll be out, but obviously I will be out here. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep going through until my bad. I have my sister, my wife's sister, and the kids here to visit, and they're just running around like headless chickens. Right, okay, so maybe they might dip into that and then go up. Right, if you want to take a trade based on this, you can use this as your framework for New York session. So New York session OTE somewhere here, and then you target, forget this, alright, use this as the framework. Alright, and then target that level. Okay, so you can use that framework and target that level. gold. Okay, let me turn this thing off. So for gold, I was looking for a run up here, which is still the case. This to me is just still a pullback, and we might get price to go back up again. So this New York session, I think that is that, and then we should see price go up again. So London forms the low, New York session retrace, and then I'll expect price to go back up again. The market is very slow this week for some reason. It's the second week of the month, so it's really slow. All right, so try not to push your luck too much, because by forcing it, you might do something that you're not supposed to do. Okay, so make sure that anything that you're doing, it's not being forced. It's actually a trade idea that you've planned, or say for example something like this. Okay, and then you don't force it. You plan it ahead. Okay, we have a framework of OTE. Price gets here, you buy it, you leave it. Okay, if you have something like that, great. But if the market is not presenting anything, and then you go in trying to fit form in this condition, you might get yourself hurt. So try your best not to force any trades in this condition. All right, let's go to the crude oil. Crude oil, I think I was expecting them to take price to that level, and then somewhere in here, and then reject and go back down again. On the daily, that wasn't the case. It actually just went into that imbalance and rejected. So I'm now going to anticipate a continuation to the downside, because I think they formed the high of the week yesterday. So this is Monday, that's Tuesday, it's Wednesday. So my next downside objective is 85.58. So I'm expecting them to now resume going lower. I just don't have a clean level that I would prefer to go short. So I don't have any idea in terms of selling, right? The only thing that you can use is this range here, because now we do have, if you look at this, right, in terms of market structure, we have a breaking structure, right? So it might pull back into somewhere here and then go down. You can also highlight that high, that if they do go above it, you can anticipate a stop rate. That was the lesson that I covered last Saturday. So because they've taken out this low and we went above that high, to me that's a breaking structure, especially dipping into that imbalance on the daily. So this will be a pullback, right? And then you anticipate a move down. If they do go above it, look at that as the lesson that I gave you guys on Saturday, right? That's the first high, that's the second high, and then we also have these old lows, and then that auto block there. So if it does go above it, that's a reversal, and then you look to sell it back down again. Okay, so that's gold. That's crude oil. Let's jump onto these pairs over here. The yen pairs this week, I am anticipating a reversal. Don't mind me, this is me back testing some stuff. So I'm anticipating a reversal on the yen pairs, but I think it might be tomorrow. So I'm looking for one more push to the upside. I'm looking for one more push to the upside, maybe into this or above it. That will bring price to premium, right? Whether here or there, and then I will look for price to reject and go lower again, right? So, you know, last week I think I kept mentioning that we are looking for higher prices, right? And then we got that. On Friday, one of the pairs that did amazing was this. If you remember Friday, you can go and watch Friday's session, right? On Friday I talked about dollar yen going up to this low and then above it, and then when the rate announced, when the NFP came out, price went up, right? And during the live session I mentioned that this was OTE and we are rejecting, so we will see price go higher. Okay, so you can see I've shaded that area. That's where I'm expecting them to go. I did have a trade idea in here and I missed, or it missed me by just a few pips, right? I was anticipating a retracement to 618, right? And they missed me. You can see they've missed it again, right? So I'm expecting higher prices, and then maybe tomorrow, Thursday, I'll talk a little bit, not today, but in future I'll talk a little bit about Thursday price action. Okay, so I'll expect them to go up again, and then maybe tomorrow, New York session, I'll start looking at potential reversal if it does go up. If it doesn't, no problem, I'll carry it to next week, because I still think this thing is gonna go down based on the higher time frame, right? Based on the higher time frame, this is just a pullback. Okay, if you watch from the weekly to the daily, right, you can see it's just a pullback. All right, so that goes for all the yen pairs. Pound yen, that's the area I'm anticipating. That's no trade idea, by the way. That's the area I'm anticipating. New Zealand yen, we have reached 70.5, but I'm looking at this whole area. Okay, and then Aussie yen, I'm looking at that area right there. Aussie Swiss, this has been amazing. For those of you that are in, if you are in the Telegram group for the London session, right, I did post this as a draw on liquidity. I didn't give it as a trade idea, but I gave it as a draw on liquidity for you to trade to that level, and it's done beautifully. I shorted here and I closed partial here, and I mentioned that also in that group, and then I've closed everything here. I am tempted to sell again because I still think we might drop at least to this imbalance. Now I've closed all my trades, but I am tempted to sell. I was tempted during this pullback. I was tempted to sell here and then look to target this imbalance, but I'm gonna leave it. Maybe after the news event, then I will revisit it again. Okay, Aussie CAD, I think they might revisit this area up here. Overall, based on the daily, I still think they will come back down again, right? We are in a bearish dealing range. Let me show you here, right? We have price take out this high, break down, big large range candles indicating they want to go lower. So all this is just a pullback, and then I'll expect price to go back down again. So watch that area. Right, they might revisit again before going down. I like that high. That's Monday's high. So if they do take it, I will anticipate some kind of a reversal. All right. Your Aussie. This was also another setup that I talked about last week. That if we do come back here, that will be a buy to go back up. It's OTE, a deep one, 88.6. This pair likes to go to 88.6 sometimes, so I'm looking for continuation to the upside. I did have a buy on this and I've taken partial, so I'm expecting them to continue going up. Okay, so last one is the Aussie New Zealand. This pair has done some incredible stuff. I wanted them to come up here, right, into that area there, because we did have a bearish dealing range in here. We took out a previous month high. Again, nice. If you go onto the daily, you see it properly. Right, it's beautiful. High all weeks. Price takes it out and then breaks down. So this was just a pullback, right? I was looking up here, basically above these highs, and then a continuation to the downside, but they didn't quite get there. Now I was short. I was short and I closed it right here. Now the reason why I closed it is because I was looking at the Aussie. So instead of me selling this pair, I came into the week with the bias of being bearish on Aussie. So instead of me actually keeping this one, I rather sold this one, right? So I've been short since Monday, but I think I should have kept that one as well, because this one has done amazing since then, and I am not in that, which is not pleasant, but let's go and look at the news event that is coming out and then see what price will do. Okay, in 1 minute. Okay, so let me go and check. Okay, we had a terrible forecast, and the actual was even more terrible. So we didn't get what I was expecting. Let me go over here. Whew. Okay, so the news event came out bad and dollar index has dropped down aggressively. I think what we need to watch now is this low here. I think it's gonna go and attack that low, so let's see how price will react at that low. I'm surprised about this one here. Okay, so maybe we might be getting the weakness in the yen pairs as I was looking for. Not the level that I anticipated, but that is amazing. I just talked about that level and I sent it up there and then down again. Okay, so today is Wednesday and they're taking price up, so let's see where they might take it to. I'm also gonna highlight this high because that's the previous week high. I don't trust this rally. I feel like it's manipulation. I didn't know that CPI is that volatile. It'll be interesting to see how dollar will trade below this low. Yeah, there's lack of movement, so they've actually killed the market with that news. This high here has disappeared. Let's see how price is gonna react above that high. And do they reject and come back in, or do they stay above it? Pound, do they make a new high? Let's look at this level. two levels on there. What I was looking for on the dollar index, it did it over here. So dollar index had same thing, right? Something like this.
You have to have a look.
Right, it did a swing low, inside candle, daily low, taking, and then up. Same thing here, swing low, inside candle, daily low, taking. So I was expecting that on this, and they've done it on Aussie. So let's see how they're gonna react below this low. Okay, we've got about 18 minutes before that candle closes, so I'll just keep going through all the other pairs and then see what they're up to as I'll wait for this candle in the next 18 minutes. So let's look at the yen pairs. they're doing that today. Okay, let's see if it's enough. 50% is not enough. Let's look at that one. Again, 50% not enough. Neither that one. This one is enough. So let's see how the daily will close. If we do close like this, I think tomorrow that will be a good sell, because that will confirm a swing high. This is also not bad, even though we did not get to the level I wanted, but if we do confirm that, not bad to sell short to target this low here. New Zealand yen. This one is a little bit strong, so it's not actually giving us any swing, but let's see on the H4. Let's see how the daily is gonna close. I like to wait for the daily to close, so with the daily closure it will give more information. Aussie yen, I don't like this. This doesn't look like a swing high to me because we did not take out this high, so all this is inside candle, so I don't like it. All right, it's an inside candle, so I don't like it. Thank God I did not sell it. But I feel like it might come back down again. Sorry guys, if you heard my wife screaming my name. All right, Aussie card. Okay, this one has done what I wasn't expecting at all. Let's go to the weekly. Remove everything. So on the weekly time frame, you can see we do have a high in here, so we want to look at this high, and we have absolutely no wick on the downside. That's suspicious to me. We have no wick on the downside, so watch this high and see, do we come back, do we reject tomorrow is Thursday, do we reject and come back below that low? If we do, pay attention. Let's go back and watch the dollar, because it's rejecting. Okay, so as I thought in the YouTube last Saturday, we want to highlight this imbalance in here. All right, and then first of all, we want that candle that is currently trading on the 1 hour. Okay, we want that candle to reject. the actual candle should be on the H4. Okay, the actual candle should be on the H4, but we can start anticipating it on the 1 hour time frame. So we want the 1 hour to close back above this low. Okay, if we don't close back above that low, that's no good. Okay, so we need to close back above that low. And then I think the best pair to be looking at would be the British pound, because it's failing to make a high, so that's a sign of weakness. All right, and you can look from the 5 minutes time frame, and we have this imbalance in here. So if we go through that, that can be a sign of a sell, right? But you have to be patient for this candle to close. No, I keep doing that. Okay, that doesn't seem to be the case, so we will see. If it's gonna continue, how far can it go? Okay, this candle's low. Let's go and look. Based on the daily, we should see some rejection in here. But we will see. Let me go and look at. If you have any question, feel free to ask, as I'm just weighing out potential scenarios. All right, so if you have any question, feel free to ask. And now I still have two. For some reason, I keep having multiple lines on my chart. I know I've drawn it 4 or 5 times, but it keeps disappearing. We've got 5 minutes left. It's looking good so far. It's looking good. It's rejecting. I'm going to have a sneak peek of the futures. Jappy. Aussie. So Aussie might drop. Okay. British pound is weak. That still have steam to the upside. So I think Aussie Swiss might come back down again. All right, we've got 5 minutes left. I've got too many on them. If we close like this, I like that one there. Right, I like that. Okay, we are not closing like that, are we? Oh, there we go. There. So it's 2 o'clock now. They have closed in the gap on the British pound. not so much on the dollar index, but based on the rule, you have to wait for this one to close. Okay, you can trade that if you want to, right? And let's look at the euro. Euro also closed that in, so you can trade that if you want to. Not so much on these two. There's no gap. I wouldn't be surprised to see this come all the way back up. All right. As you've seen, they've used that news event to kind of kill to kill off a lot of people. So I'm looking for them to continue going down. The yen pairs, I'll look at them tomorrow. I'll look at how they are going to close by the end of the day, and then I'll go in looking at some trade ideas tomorrow. Okay, Aussie CAD, same thing. I'll look at how we're gonna close the day, and then I'll revisit that tomorrow. So 2 weeks in a row is giving me headache, so I might put it I might shove it where probably I'll not look at it again, but I'm still looking for that to go down, especially this one. So if you do fancy a trade, I think this one is a nice one to be in. I like what the futures is indicating here. We are rejecting that high. This one has got room to the upside, so leadership is to the Swiss, so Swiss might come back down again. All right, so if you want, you can take the Aussie Swiss instead. The dollar, I want this to close in first, and then once that closes in, obviously with the British pound they've closed that in, so if you want you can go in, but I want that dollar index to close that gap first. Okay, because we're using the dollar index as the tool to predict what the other is supposed to be doing. And pretty much that's all. Anyone got any question before I close this session? Did I have something to talk about? I can't remember. Did I say I was going to talk about something? If I said, let me know, because the news event has blanked my mind. Not what I was anticipating. It was nice on Friday. I got what I was anticipating, but today, quite the opposite. Oh yeah, Thursday price action. Yeah. I'll do that on Friday. Okay, I'll do that on Friday. On Friday, when they do happen, then I'll talk about it. So Friday, if by Thursday what I'm expecting happens, then Friday we will talk about it. Even if it doesn't happen, we will still talk about it. So Indices, I'm looking this one. I can see what I have there, right? That imbalance there, here, to come back down again. I'm looking at that to reject with the stop above that high. Okay. And if it does go above it, right, based on the H4, you will see over here, based on the H4, it should be a stop rate, and then it should come back down. So that's what I will anticipate. Maybe the target, the profit target, is too exaggerated, right? Maybe back to this equal low in here. But if it does go above it, which is not supposed to be here, it's supposed to be down there. How ironic that the today of all days that the market is so crazy. TradingView is giving us this error. I don't find it as a coincidence anyway. But yeah, I'll look for this to reject. Oh, I've already done it here with a stop above that, and if it does go above it, you know what to do, right? Because now I've shared it on the YouTube, so you know what to do. Let's go back and check the yeah, I like the British pound. Yeah, very ironic. But this, I think it will reject. Let's see. I think it will reject, because we are not in a trending environment. If we were in a trending environment, that would be different. August is not a trending market or a trending environment. So today's date is the 10th, likely. So pay attention to the 5 minutes imbalance in here, right? We want that one to close in. Now, on the 1 hour, right, this candle has rejected, so that's good. What they can do again is come back down, raid this one again, and then reject again, right? If it does go below this low and it rejects, I'll look for price to trade back here. Okay, now I'm expecting them to close the 5 minutes imbalance. I want the 5 minutes imbalance to close in, but if, right, it's a big if it doesn't close in and it comes back one more time, right, pay attention to whatever gap. So if it comes back down again, pay attention to whatever gap that will reside inside the move down, and then do the same thing. So let's say price is dropping, right, and then it creates a gap here, then your attention shifts to that gap, and then you look for same rejection and then target that level. Okay. So yeah, that's that. We also mindful of the 4-hour gap being closed in. Yeah, this one, Yeah, it's been closed in, but we do have so it's two things, right? If this candle closes as it is, this one here, the daily, if it closes as it is, then yes, I'll be mindful of that gap that has been closed in. But since it's still trading and we have a bearish dealing range, I'm seeing that as news event manipulation, and then it can come back down again. So if the day closes like this, then it wasn't just news event. There was some real trading going on that buyers probably might have stepped in. So then after the day closes, I will consider maybe a retracement back down to continue going up. But for now, I'll look for rejection. Okay. And Euro is also not doing bad. All right, guys, my time is up. I am going to find something to eat, and I'll touch base with you guys on Friday. Date is Friday, the 12th of August. Okay. So enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully you learned something new being here. We've used what I actually shared on YouTube live right here. Okay, you can see now they're closing above it. So we've actually used it live in the lower time frame. Usually I'll do this on the higher time frame, but we've used it live in the lower time frame. Okay, and we got a nice trade off from that. Right there, nice one. If you look on the 1 minute time frame, you will see a nice market maker sell model, breakdown, area of distribution, rejection. So we want to see them trade below this low. Okay. All right. So that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you guys on Friday. Friday we might do the London session, depending on how I see the market in the morning. If I wake up and it's just too slow, then we do the New York session. But if I wake up and the market is a bit volatile, then we will do the London session. All right. So enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you on Friday. Peace.